Before we can produce any printed output, of course, we have to set up printers. This is a topic that I'm going to kind of shy away a little bit from in this early part of the tutorials, but I do have to show you a little bit about it just so we can set up a printer that will let us show the examples that we're going to be working on. If I go into 7, printer maintenance, and on my system, if I were to press P to look at the printers, you see that there are 9 printers set up. That's all you're allowed in this printer maintenance program, at least at this version of 5.0 FilePro. This is the amount of allowed printers on this particular editor, the printer maintenance editor. If I were to go into the FilePro directory, the question mark, I pick the question mark, and now if I look at the config file, so happens that the place where you keep FilePro environment variables is the same place where you keep printers information. You see where it shows there it has PF down at the bottom here. Let's see, it just has PF printer, it has printer 1, printer 2, 3, 4, and so forth, all these printers. On my Nexus system, unfortunately, I have so many printers, and they're so busy. Look, I have 81 printers here, and I just don't want to take the chance of messing anything up here, so I'm going to take you to another system's printer maintenance file. I'm going to just jump to another screen, and I'll go into the printer maintenance system on this system. Printer maintenance, hit P. This is my home system. It really only has 4 or 5 printers. It's good. So let's add a printer that we can use for the Valor Group tutorials. I would basically come down here. Let's give it a name. How about VG? Let's call it VGPTR, VG printer. And what type of a print code table do I want it to use? Every printer has specific codes that make it operate properly, and you'll see that I have a couple HP 2250s, and I have an HP 6XX, means anything in the HP series 600, 650, 692. In this case, I want no codes. I don't want any print codes. I want a completely pure ASCII, just the stuff that's on the reports and formats, because I'm not going to print them, line printer, or print them through a spooler to a printer. Like here you see that I'm actually printing, this means LP-D is destination, the printer called BCPJ. There are all these little technical things that we can get to them. I'm going to get to them later in another part of the tutorial, possibly for Unix and possibly for Windows. I may gloss over this a little bit because it's a little bit out of the scope of programming, and it is that you can find this information on the manuals or in the FP room or the mailing list. You can find out a little bit about how to direct your printouts. We're going to direct a printout with a greater than sign into a file, test.drt. Every printout we generate is just going to clobber into this file and become this file. It'll overwrite whatever was in there previously and end up in this file. So we can go display this file on the screen and see what it looks like. So for us, we'll pick the printer called VG Printer, and it will automatically print everything we print into that file, one at a time. So that's pretty quick. This, by the way, is the selection. If you press S for select, you could select any one of the printer types which are available. For instance, if I wanted HP 1100, or I wanted an HP 3, or whatever, you pick that, and that becomes the table that's on your screen, and you can put in print codes that do specific things. FilePro allows you to build your own print codes even, aside from the ones that the factory supplies that make your printer do various things like bold facing and italics. You can make your own print codes up to, switch fonts, do all sorts of things, draw circles, arrows, pictures, etc. Again, that's a little out of the scope of the programming in FilePro at this point, so we will cover it later. We now have a printer that we can at least use, and it's called VG Printer.